what you see in front is may not be very clear, but then I'll just help you out. You see some rat-like animals. They are found in Arctic region and they are called lemmings. So there is a very strange kind of a phenomenon that happens in their lifespan. When their population increases, then they do something very strange. They in mass start climbing up a cliff and they jump to the sea. And people say they commit mass suicide. Okay? And anybody who gets into that mode where he is just following others because so many people are doing it, you also start doing it, thinking that is the best way of doing things, without giving any thought to it, without questioning it, then there is a term called lemming syndrome, right? So what this picture is depicting is that lemming syndrome. Now, why am I showing this to you right in the beginning of my presentation to you? Right? I don't want anybody who is attending this webinar to suffer from this syndrome as far as SSB is concerned. Please, there is plethora of information that is available on internet these days. There are so many institutes that have come about, and then they have some commercial model and they follow it religiously. And most of the aspirants, I mean, I don't find fault with them. Like you prepare yourself for any other exam, whether it is IIT, whether it is NEET or whatever. The natural way is to prepare yourself, join the coaching, find the things that are available on the internet. That is a natural process. But does that hold good for SSB also? Well, you need to question that. Like this says, wait a minute, something feels wrong. Okay, and my endeavor today would be to apprise you about it and try and give you the right direction, which will help you get success in SSB. Rather the other way around, if you follow the masses without applying yourself and thinking what masses are doing is the correct thing, well, that may not be the right direction, and well, it may not lead to desired results. So I want you to have very correct understanding of SSB, right? And like I mentioned, it is assessment of your personality and its suitability for defense forces. And all the tests they are designed to assess your behavior in different conditions. And those conditions may be unfamiliar, those conditions may be slightly difficult also. And then what gets done is that the way you behave, the way you display whatever behavior patterns you are, then that is extrapolated to real life situations. Okay, that if you face situation in real life, what would be your reaction? That kind of an extrapolation is done. So what I say is SSB is nothing but it's a subset of real life. Please understand that. In 5 days time, it is very difficult for anybody to create conditions that you would face in real time in your career in defense forces. So what gets done is certain tests have been designed and they are based on psychological principles. They are very scientific tests, right? And you are put through them, and based on your performance there, then your personality is judged, and and what is needed in the army, that comparison is done. You make the grade, you get selected. You don't make the grade, well, some other time. Okay. Now, another very important thing, which will be the theme of my deliberations with you today, is third bullet, which says subconscious plays a major part. Please remember this aspect. Okay, this is very essential to understand SSB in its correct perspective. I would say more than 90% is the contribution of your subconscious mind towards your performance in SSB. Right? And how it plays, I would explain it little later. But another important aspect I wish to flag with you is shortcuts do not work. Okay, patchwork does not work. And why I say what I am saying, you would be more clear as we proceed further. Okay. Now, this is what I was saying, subconscious. Okay. Whatever is your visible behavior is just 10%. Okay. It is something like the tip of an iceberg. And what lies below in your subconscious and unconscious mind are these, which you may or may not be even aware, like your attitude, your emotions, your self perception, your self concept, your self esteem, your belief system, whatever hidden expectations you may have, any unresolved issues from the past, maybe even your childhood. So, most of the behavior emanates from subconscious and unconscious level. And it is just 10% which is at conscious level or which is at visible behavior. So you are getting tested not only for this visible behavior, you are getting tested for your entire behavior, your personality in its entirety. Okay, so please understand this thing. I'll be touching upon this aspect subsequently also. Please register it. Okay. Now, SSB is a three-pronged approach. When I say they assess your personality through and through, we follow a three-pronged approach. And as Honorable Vice Chancellor also mentioned about it, there are three main assessors. Okay, one is a psychologist, second is GTO, that is Group Testing Officer, and third one is IO, Interviewing Officer. Now, these three assessors assess you, right, independently, okay, and take a call about your being a fit candidate for defense forces or not. And gentlemen, this is followed in all three services, let me tell you. Okay, Army, Navy, and Air Force, all the SSS are trained by the same institute, that is Defense Institute of Psychological Research, Delhi. So all SSS are products of the same institute, and the method followed is the same. Okay, and like I mentioned earlier, whether you are a girl, you are coming at 10+2 level, or you are a postgraduate, does not make any difference. Primarily, because your personality is getting tested, not your knowledge. Okay, knowledge has been tested when you go through your intelligence test. Okay, but here what is getting tested is your personality. Okay, now in defense forces, we follow, something called manas, karma, and vacha. What it means is we follow this three things we keep in mind. One is man, that is your mind, which includes your conscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious mind. So the job of psychologist is to look into through the prism of your man, right, your mind, and have a look at your personality in entirety. So that is one approach. Second is vacha, what you say. एक है आपके दिमाग में क्या आ रहा है, मन में क्या आ रहा है, दूसरा what you say. So IO through the prism of this what you say assesses your personality independently, your entire personality, not only fragments of your personality, your entire personality. And similarly, the GTO, he assesses you through your actions, karma, what you do. Okay. Now, gentlemen, if you recall, Honorable VC was mentioning about having an integrated personality. Okay. So you would find a person, whatever he thinks, whatever is there in his mind, this is what he says, and what he says is what he does. Now, such a person is said to have an integrated personality. Okay, right? जो दिमाग में है वो बोलना है और जो बोलना है वो जिंदगी में करना है. So there is no divergence. But such is a very, it's a kind of an ideal personality, shall we say. And when we talk about personality assessment, it is not always black and white. Okay, there is lot of gray which is there in anybody's personality. So because of very many psychological factors, right, he may think something. You will find some people on intention also. He's thinking of something else, he's saying something different, and what he does on ground is entirely different. Okay, such fellow cannot be said to be having an integrated personality. What he projects is a fragmented personality. So therefore, any person who is true to himself, right, who does not want to show something different than what he is, his self-concept is very high, he thinks about himself, he knows who I am, he doesn't have to get into any of tricks to think something, say something, and do something different accordingly. So this is a three-pronged approach which is followed in SSB. Independent.
So before I conclude or close, I'll just like to share a few things with you. Call it tips, call it guidelines, whatever. But they are basics. They are basics, right? If you do that, I can guarantee you 50-60% of your preparation is already done when you go for SSB. So remain physically fit. If you are an obese person, if you go besides your physical fitness, it tells a lot about your personality, about your determination, about your self-control, about your self-discipline. Okay, it tells a lot of things to assess us. Okay, so physical fitness, remain physically fit, undertake some physical exercise on regular basis, on day-to-day basis, and aim should be to develop your stamina, your agility. Don't go to gym and just try and build up those muscles. They don't help. Okay, you have to be a self-aware person. Be aware about the happenings around. You have to know firstly about yourself, where you stand on those qualities, what is the gap, because then only you can improve on it. And also you have to be aware of your surroundings, whichever nationally what is happening, internationally what is happening. Okay, the place you come from, you have to know little about that place. If you want to join forces, you got to be knowing little about it, what weapon systems, what kind of a rank structure, etc., etc. And just don't be satisfied with what. Go deeper and know how and why for greater learning. Very important. What can you do? Listen to BBC, get hold of some good English newspaper, read it, make a notebook, note some important happenings happening, okay, in India and abroad. Google it. Keep jotting down important points under the head you are given. And that is how you keep increasing your knowledge. And it will help you in number of ways. It will help you in your lecturate. It will help you in your group discussion. It will help you in your interview. It will also help you in psychological tests. How I will not cover now because of constraint of time. But please be rest assured, if you are doing all this, you are preparing yourself better. Practice intelligence test, that OIR I told you, more you practice, you are likely to do better chances of getting through your screening. Hone communication skills. Now, gentlemen, this is something very important. Okay, when I say English, it does not mean only the language. Okay, communication is more than what you speak or what language you speak in. I told you earlier, most of it comes from subconscious. Your body language has to support you. If you are telling some lie, if you are faking something, if you are know yourself that I am saying for the heck of it because somebody has told me, your body language will not support you. So while you are saying something to interviewing officer, or you are writing something in your psychological test, Well, in interview specifically, your body language is shouting loudly, I'm telling a lie. Okay? And like I told you, you can't wear a mask, you can't present a facade in front of these assessors. They are too competent, right? They know their job and they can see you through. Develop comfort in public speaking, right? Some people are good in speaking, but then they have stage fear. So please, on everyday basis, spend some time in public speaking. What you can do, talk to your friends in a group, okay, talk to your parents in the language if language is a problem, and if you still feel little shy or hesitant, do it in front of mirror, okay, okay, decide on a topic, prepare on it, and then do it in front of a mirror. Have balance in your personality. Now, gentlemen, this aspect is something very, very important, right? I talked about OLQs, right? You need to have a balanced personality. What I wish to say, I'll explain just with an example. If you are a very good sports person, that by itself does not qualify for you to be selected for SSB. This becomes a bonus to you if you have balance in personality in terms of your mental faculties, in terms of your interpersonal relationships. Yes, if you are a good sportsman, it is another feather in your cap. But in isolation, if you are a good sports person, but if your mental faculties are not supportive, well, you can't make the grade. So have balance in your personality. So please, equal importance to your education, equal importance to your interpersonal relationships, and very important to have those the so-called leadership qualities. If you start a thing, then see to it that it gets executed. Because in army, gentlemen, you are the planner, you are the executioner. Okay, and what is at stake is the lives of Jawans under you. So if you are one person who can only plan but can't execute, well, there is a disbalance. Okay, you try and do certain things, but it is not supported by your cognitive skills. There is a disbalance. So I think I have made myself clear. Only this much I can share with you within this given time. Last point, gentlemen, please try and avoid coaching institutes. Okay. All right. For the reasons I shared with you, and especially I would say in your first attempt, there is a difference. One is you make yourself aware about what happens there rather than going absolutely blind. Okay, you know what happens there, generally how it gets conducted, and those things which I showed in previous slides. If you are preparing on those lines everyday basis, just know the procedure. That is one thing. Second is now trying to get to know that in psychological tests, what kind of a story I should write, what kind of a word I should write, or what situation I should write. If you get into that, then you are not preparing. Let me tell you, you are doing something which is counterproductive. If some coaching institute is giving you a booklet with number of diagrams and some suggested story, that is their story. This is not your story. You don't want to project their personality, you want to project your personality. So please understand that. If somebody tells you in GTO task, do this, do that, this is the solution, well, it doesn't serve purpose. Because what is not, that is not being seen every time you present a solution. How you react with your other candidates, that is more important. That is what suffers if you try to do it in a stereotype of a manner. Right? Same in interview. If he asks this, give this answer. And if you speak like a parrot, your body language does not support you and you do harm to yourself. While it is a very simple interview, you're talking about yourself. But if you start talking yourself in a pre-prepared manner, trying to tell few lies here and there, try to conceal something at a conscious level, it doesn't work.